You're a guy dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? The dead are alive.
Why does a man choose the life of an assassin?
Well, it was that or the priesthood.
What's going on, James? They say you're finished.
What do you think?
I think you're just getting started.
Coming soon in IMAX.
Joining me today is reoccurring guest. Is that Octopus Inc. or are you just happy to see me, JJ? Welcome back.
Hey, cuckoo.
Cuckoo. We are continuing our review of all the Daniel Craig Bond films. And just a reminder, JJ's hearing and seeing them. I don't know why I said hearing, but seeing them for the first time. I'm calling it the Bond Extravanganz. So put your skull mask on, practice pouting out your lips, and keep in the shadows. Spectre from 2015 is next. All right, dude, the description for this one. Actually, you know what? This might be premature, and it might be out of order, but JJ and I just watched No Time to Die. It's like we haven't even had a chance to process it. And we're going back in time to record Spectre. It's fresh in our minds. And we just finished, I don't know if this matters to anyone, but I just want to tell you the story. In the United States of America, we have a company, it's called Pepsi, okay? And they have a property called Mountain Dew. And they released a certain beverage called Pitch Black. Nowhere to be found. It's the biggest conspiracy I've ever known about soft drinks.
It's the best tasting flavor. I don't need your Baja Blast. Pitch Black, elite, yeah. And they discontinue it.
Correct. So there was a moment in time in history of the Popcorn Priest where I was alerted by a dear friend of mine, Baraza, that there were copious amounts of Pitch Black in my local store because I couldn't find them anywhere. I went and bought 4 cases, and we're going to pop this in celebration of Daniel Craig. Ready for this?
Cheers.
Oh. Is that some ASMR for you or what? Wow, that hits really good.
So good. PB.
And this podcast is brought to you by Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Yeah, great sponsor.
Can't find it in any store. All right, the description for this one. A cryptic message from James Bond's past sends him on a trail. A trail, not a trial. Scratch that. A trail to uncover the existence of a sinister organization named Spectre. With the new threat dawning, Bond learns the terrible truth about the author of all his pain in his most recent missions. Directed by Sam Mendes, we had an impromptu homework that JJ brought up in our last pod that he thinks I was saying Sam Mendes' name wrong. And listen, I'd be the first one to admit that I say stuff wrong. And it's a recurring joke, and I like it, and I'm going to keep doing it until I die. But in this instance, Sam Mendes is the right way to say it.
I saw an interview. They were calling him Sam Mendes, and controversial.
Well, I don't think we've solved anything.
It's a puzzle.
It is a popcorn puzzle. So
we know Sam's a fan of the pod.
Please, Sam, will you?
No disrespect.
Yeah, just on your iPhone, if you could right now, Sam, just hit a little record your voice, and just text it over to me, and we'll get it live. I'm just waiting for Sam's text. It'll come through into the show. Speaking of Sam, he directed such hits as 1917, the previous movie we just reviewed, Skyfall, which we both gave double gold buckets. And already mentioned on the last pod as well, Road to Perdition, which is a very underrated film. We both, JJ and I both like that one. So Top billed stars Daniel Craig, of course, DC as we affectionately call him, Christoph Waltz.
Cuckoo.
He shares my name. So Christoph, I salute you. And Leah Seydoux. Leah Seydoux. And Rafe Fiennes. We've also found out that Ralph is not really Ralph in the UK. For some reason, they just dropped the L.
That L is silent.
But I've heard some people call him Ralph. It's Rafe. So we've solved that puzzle. Rafe Fiennes, Monica Bellucci, and Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
From the wrestling fame.
Yes, sir.
We gotta right now we're recording this together. Usually we do it over the phone, but this is a surprise treat which we're sharing these delicious beverages. But JJ, I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm a fan of WWE.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say.
And I appreciate Dave Bautista being in this movie.
Okay.
That's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
A 6-time world heavyweight champion, Dave Bautista.
Listen, I'm so glad that you know that because I think wrestling is so silly. But I love that you love it, and I love that I don't like it. It's good. Makes our friendship stronger, I believe.
You're a jabroni, but that's okay.
Okay, thank you. Runtime of 2 hours and 28 minutes. Rated PG-13. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says action/adventure/mystery and thriller. Although IMDb is going crazy again. Spy/action/adventure/globetrotting adventure.
Globetrotting adventure? Is that a category?
Yeah, there's one more that you're going to love. You didn't even know it was a category. Thriller, and last but not least, one-person army action is a theme. A genre.
One-person army action.
I mean, we're getting a little too in the weeds, IMDb. We need to ring it back, okay? Please.
Give me spy action thriller.
Yeah.
Done.
Moving on. Speaking of IMDb, they give it a 6.8 out of 10 from 474,000 reviews. That's right there. Rotten Tomatoes, however, gives us a 63% from 368 critic ratings and 61% from 100,000 plus audience ratings. Very interesting reception for this film that I wasn't expecting.
That's lower than how much I enjoyed this movie. And
I agree.
When I was kind of looking into things, like I mentioned before, when I was talking to you, I was surprised to see the hate for this movie.
Yeah.
Compared to how much I enjoyed it.
Well, we're going to get into that with Popcorn Reviews the Reviews. But before I say that, at the time of this recording, you can stream this. I don't even know, man. It's just going to be a one of those James Bond gun barrel bullets just moving around. You're not sure where it's going to end up. Maybe Amazon Prime, maybe MGM Plus, whatever that is. And Fubo TV. Give me a break with these streaming services. I don't even know how to pronounce some of them. They're not all in the same place, which is very frustrating. So I just recommend the full set of 4K Blu-rays so you can watch them well into the apocalypse. If you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest Permanent Collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. All right, JJ. Popcorn Reviews the Reviews. What do you want? I'm going to take another sip of PB.
I like the flippity flop, the whiplash.
Whiplash.
As you call it.
Okay. Are we going to go out on a low note this time?
No.
Okay. First 1 out of 10. This is from Barbara.
Barbie.
306. Barbara, I'm going to assume it's a lady. So Barbara says, imploding. A lot of people think that Spectre is the worst Bond movie ever.
How does Barbara sound again?
A lot of people think that Spectre is the worst Bond movie ever. I would agree. But I don't technically consider it a Bond movie. The spirit is gone. And so is the humor. Spectre is poorly acted, painfully scripted, ponderous. What is that a slight?
Ponderous?
Ponderous? I kind of like that. I love to be ponderous.
Yeah.
Dark, useless, and ridiculous. I won't go into the plot as many did before me. The Bond franchise is dying, killed by an excess of CGI, helicopters, and explosions, and Superman stunts. There isn't any subtlety. Just a lot of noise, screaming, no plot to speak of. Good actors are wasted and appear bored, if not embarrassed. Daniel Craig looks so much like Vladimir Putin, it's distracting. And his female co-star has no idea what acting means. Ian Fleming must be turning in his grave. 1 out of 10.
The Putin to DC comparison, uncalled for, Barbara.
She stepped over the Bond line, in my opinion.
Yeah, disagree with a lot of what she said, including that there's no comedy in this, because I found some parts really funny.
Yeah, there's some comedy.
I feel like DC really, his attitude and swagger in this movie is a little bit different than the other ones, and he's got some great one-liners.
Yeah, I agree. It's not super bad, dude. Like it's a Bond film. We're not supposed to be cracking jokes the whole time. So, all right, first 10 out of 10 from Jigsaw 91.
The Saw villain?
Saw killer. Popcorn puzzle solved. He's a fan of James Bond.
Yeah.
Jigsaw. What's that?
It's not what he sounds like at all. Go ahead.
That like little doll thing when he
Yeah.
starts laughing. That was pretty close. Craig's best Bond movie. I just came out of the theater and I'm literally blowing away. I think Jigsaw wanted to say blown away, but he says blowing away.
The fact that he hops on IMDb reviews right after the movie, just respect to the Jigsaw.
It's respect to the Jigsaw. I'm literally blowing away. As a moviegoer and movie lover looking for a good entertaining, I don't think English is his first language.
He's a puppet. He's like a little doll, bro.
It's simply irresistible not to like this movie even just a little. But if your genre is the action, or you are a Bond fanboy, but a real fanboy, the one who knows that Bond is a dark killer with a great sense of humor as well as a troubled human being, and not just a fantasy and silly spy in silly missions with a handful of gadgets, then Spectre will be a total feast for you. Spectre is the most enjoyable Daniel Craig Bond film and probably his farewell with a bang, and the best Bond movie in recent memory. I did not exactly know what to expect for this installment after being put to sleep after the breathtaking Skyfall. This guy's throwing shade on Skyfall.
Jigsaw. He's a madman.
So all the hype surrounding it, but not such a bold movie like this. If he, Craig, really loves after this one, or leaves, he will achieve something that Connery, Moore, and Bronson failed to, he misspelled Bronson's name wrong, failed to do so. Say goodbye to the character on a stunning high. My personal ranking of Daniel Craig as James Bond is the following. Spectre, number 1, Skyfall, and Casino Royale 2, but both deserve it. And Quantum of Solace is third. 10 out of 10.
Big Spectre fan. This guy is.
I knew Jigsaw loved James Bond.
But the Skyfall slander I won't take.
I won't take it. Our next 1 out of 10 from Lumpy Camel. He says, worst Bond movie ever. How did they fill 2.5 hours with nothing? This is truly, truly awful. Now, at the outset, I have to say I'm a huge Bond fan. I cannot believe how dull this movie was. Both Daniel Craig and Sam Mendes both must have 007 fatigue, as they both phone this in. I know when writing reviews, you have to be careful not to add spoilers. Not on this show. We're really careful. But guess what? There aren't any. As nothing happens for 2.5 hours, just lots of overly long scenes of people talking or walking down hallways or driving in the desert. God only knows what they spent the $250 million on. Maybe a really good catering truck? I'd like to go into the depth of how dull this is, but I'm too sleepy. Where do I line up to get those 2.5 hours of my life back? The only thing I can say is that this movie makes Quantum of Solace really look good. 1 out of 10.
Ooh, Lumpy Campbell.
I mean, what? Maybe his camel lumps are falling down. They're empty.
Mm-hmm.
He's empty in life, and he's empty in his lumps.
In his heart.
And in his heart. You know what, Lumpy? Normally I'd crap on you right now, but I hope you're okay. Hope you're doing okay, man.
Yeah, we care about you, Lumpy.
All right. Next 10 out of 10 from Sean Mathsey. I don't know if it's Sean Loves Math or I don't know what Mathsey is. Maybe he accidentally typed an extra character in his title of his name, but Sean says, better than Skyfall. I'm sorry, critics. That's another one the opposite way.
Yeah, another one.
We go like, oh my gosh, okay. I really don't understand what the critics were smoking. In my opinion, Skyfall was a good Bond film, but very overrated, and basically The Dark Knight with James Bond. Spectre, in my opinion, is far superior and finishes the overall arc of Daniel Craig's James Bond, depending on if he wants to make another one or not. The music was great, apart from the Sam Smith theme. Acting, action, and story. See it in IMAX. It's worth it, even for the Mexico City opening scene alone. 10 out of 10.
Once again, you can like Spectre, but not slander Skyfall. It's okay.
Yeah, I have no understanding of how someone could hate Skyfall so much, and we have 2 already. All right, you ready for our last 1 out of 10?
Yes, sir.
This is from Han Cyrus. I don't know if that's like a Han Solo reference. I'm going to call him Han. I fell asleep. Sexy octopus. The opening credits made me laugh so hard. The beginning was so slow. I fell asleep for almost the entire first half. I leaned over to ask my friend what I missed, and he said, nothing. You didn't miss anything. The dialogue was flat, monotone, begging to put you to sleep. I couldn't stop staring at Daniel Craig's giant head. It looks like it grew twice its size since Skyfall. What? And he kept mistreating all his buddies, trashes Mrs. Swan's summer getaway, and stole Q's car and then sunk it into a channel. You a-hole! And no shirtless scene? Although I was sensing some chemistry between Bond and Q.
Whoa.
Totally thought they were going to make out at the end. But nope, not even that. Overall, this movie's dry. If you want to be entertained, you're going to have to make fun of it or use your imagination or not watch it at all. Skyfall was pretty great, though. 1 out of 10. What is the theme here is people are all over the place with Skyfall.
And Spectre.
Spectre.
Hate one and love the other one.
I think we're going to get to the bottom of if you like Skyfall, you need to like Spectre.
Correct. This guy, though, he thought DC's head got twice as big, and then he wanted to see him shirtless.
And he wanted him to make out with Q.
Yeah, that's why he was disappointed.
Han Cyrus. I mean...
Hans. It's okay, Hans.
Han or Hans or Han Cyrus, whatever you are. I hope you find what you're looking for. Because it's not in Spectre, apparently. All right, last 10 out of 10. This is from Bevo or Bevo. I'm not really sure. Bevo or Bevo?
Bevo.
Bevo. Yeah. I want to think that Bevo is a guy. And all Bevo says is, wow. I like the bit where Bond threw the man over a balcony onto a table. 10 out of 10.
Bevo.
That's it. That's all he wrote.
Love it.
Oh, I love it. And he gave this review in 2020.
Concise. Oh, yeah, nice. Years later.
I like it where Bond throws the man over a balcony onto a table. That's what got him to the 10 out of 10. That's all he said.
Bevo just loves, yeah. He loves the action.
All right, let's raise our PBs to Bevo.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, you ready for should or shouldn't you watch this? All right, I got 5 reasons why you should watch this, as always. Let me know if I missed anything, JJ. Number 1, if you like James Bond and you have seen the last 3 Daniel Craig Bonds, then you are on the back half. Just finish the task. We got 2 left. If you made it this far, you've got to watch Spectre.
Correct.
Number 2, if you thought that octopuses couldn't be sexy, then take another look at this one. Sexy octopuses.
I think it's octopi.
It is?
For plural.
Octopi? I mean...
Sexy octopi. Okay.
Octopuses. Okay. Number 3, if you want to see Christoph Waltz cook, this has some amazing scenes with him doing what he does best with his dialogue, which is what we love about Christoph Waltz, I think.
Yeah, great villain.
I mean, we've seen him multiple times in Tarantino films. Blows it out of the water. Best supporting actor like win I've seen in a while.
Yeah, this is a crazy stretch he's on from Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained to the Spectre villain.
Yeah, it's really
What a run.
I want to keep them coming, Christoph. Number 4. If you want to see a Bond film with all the ingredients that we need, this has the ingredients. And we've already outlined them in previous pods.
Yeah.
So please go back and check them out. But this checked all the boxes.
100%. Checked him off.
Number 5, last but not least. The opening sequence is such a wild ride. It is worth the price of admission. Just like the guy said in that review, it alone, you should come see this film for the helicopter scene.
This opening scene in Mexico, probably my favorite scene so far in all the Bonds.
Correct.
Loved it.
Yes. All right. I'm sorry before you get to your reasons that maybe I missed. I have a pre-beef.
Whoa.
And I have to bring it up now. And I've already put Amazon Prime on blast, but they're on blast again. And also Amazon, I'm calling you out. MGM, I'm calling you out. And I'm calling out Spectre 4K disc, the actual disc, because it was scratched. And I missed about 1 minute of the first scene and 1 minute of the end scene. That's a beef.
How can you unwrap a new disc and it be scratched, you know?
I literally have to
Get it
go
together.
buy it again in order to see those two scenes. Well,
Do the right thing, Amazon.
do the right thing. Send me a disc, a brand new one, free of charge. All right. Any other reasons that we missed?
All great reasons. You nailed it.
That's it. I mean, that's it. Okay. I did it, everybody. I got all the reasons. Are you ready for popcorn by the numbers?
Give me those numbers.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
All right, I didn't have as many as Skyfall, but I did front load it just for you, JJ. We kind of spoiled it slightly, but the box off or the budget for this film is
250? Is that what that guy said?
he said well, I just hit my mouth or my mic with my mouth. He said 250. It's actually 245, but
Okay.
he spoiled it. So 245, one of the more expensive Bonds so far, other than Quantum of Solace, I think was like 230. So up there. What do you think the worldwide box office haul is?
Worldwide, coming off of the Skyfall, it was 1.2 billion?
Correct.
Insane.
1.2
So
billion.
I'm thinking this one did like seven and a half worldwide.
That's a really good prestige worldwide guess. 879 million.
Dang.
This will surprise you though. 200 million only came from the US. So 679 came from the international box office.
Yeah, that's been a theme like the whole series.
I agree. The UK's coming in hot for their guy.
This is their guy. Yeah.
It's their guy. Hey, and if you guys want to make movies like this, as an American, I'm in. I love it so much.
Yeah. Love seeing the British royalty.
We have Mission Impossible. You guys have Bond. And by the way, the new trailer for MI 7.5 is sick.
TC, baby.
8. We'll call it MI 8.
Do you think we could ever have a movie with the crossover, TC and DC?
Oh, dude, if they like recruited them
Yeah.
together,
Yeah, like Alliance.
elite spy movie.
Give it to me.
All right. Let's see. The 6th biggest grossing movie of 2015. Also, this is also crazy. On DVD and Blu-ray in 2015 was the second biggest seller of 2015 after Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
That is very surprising.
Very surprising. Second biggest DVD sales. The production shoot on this movie was expected to run for around 7 months. But with reshoots, principal photography went for about 8 months. That's wild. Most movies
It's a long shoot.
yeah, they only take, some of them are under a month. Some of them are 2 months if it's a big shoot. 8 months. I mean, no wonder. I mean, here, I was just about to say, no wonder Daniel Craig got a lot of money for this. What do you think his salary was for Skyfall? Or Spectre, excuse me.
Do you remember what it was for Skyfall? Was it 4 million, 5 million?
No, I think it was like 14.
Oh, good for him.
So yeah, I have it in my notes and it's 17. You were right.
Dang.
17 million. So he got, guess what his,
So 20, 25?
Daniel Craig's salary in this movie was reportedly 25.4 million pounds, which equates to $39 million.
Get that bag, DC.
Allegedly making Craig the highest paid actor to portray James Bond ever.
Well deserved.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, DC. Talking about money, the cost of the Aston Martin's vehicles that were crashed and blown up in the movie amounted to how much money do you think?
Oh, millions.
This blew my mind. $36.7 million in blown up Aston Martins. How do they? That's a big.
They're using that $100 million from that contract they had with them.
That's true. They're just burning them up. Okay, here we go. This is the fourth James Bond movie to win an Academy Award. It picked up Best Original Song. It also marks the first time since Goldfinger and Thunderball where successive Bond movies won Oscars. Riding on the Wall became the fifth Bond song to be nominated for an Academy Award. The others in this elite club are Sir Paul McCartney's Wings, Live and Let Die, which is a sick song, Carly Simon's Nobody Does It Better, which is also great. You can get mad at me if you want, but it's so good. And then For Your Eyes Only from Sheena Easton. And then Adele's Skyfall, which is
the best.
Really, really great. So a lot of good shine on the songs for Bond. All right, I have a couple more here. This one's interesting. In order to complete the London scenes involved low-flying helicopters. So there's a scene at the end. I don't know. Should I talk about this?
Spoilery?
Would it be spoilery if I'm not going to say what happens. There's just a scene on a bridge.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
In London. So the supervising location manager, Emma Pill, said, the biggest challenge was to light the river at night. This involved several weeks of preparation. We lit under each arch of Vauxhall Lambeth and Westminster Bridge, 17 arches in total. These lights then remained in position for 5 weeks. I wouldn't even I thought all those lights were just part of London. They're not.
Yeah, I was blown away by the scene. I did think too, like how long that probably took them to shoot with the traffic, given that's on Westminster Bridge, whatever.
I know.
And I didn't think about the lights.
Yeah, she says, we also lit the river from 10 rooftops along the bank of the Thames, from Vauxhall Bridge to Hungerford Bridge, working with Lambeth Palace, Tate Britain, and the Royal Parks to get permission. We also worked very closely with the House of Commons, County Hall, and the London Eye to keep various lights on or off to change the color of the lights for each night shoot. Each night shoot involved a location team of nearly 200 people that included marshals, security, traffic management, and police officers. Pill laughed, adding, that's a lot of radios to hand out and coordinate on a night, but it ran extremely smooth each time. That kind of stuff really, I mean, we always talk about the crew and how much they do, but what an immense amount of work to get that shot.
It's worth it. It's an awesome shot.
Yeah, it rivals the shot of the first of the film in Mexico City, which the Day of the Dead sequence involved 1,500 extras, including 77 dancers and 170 makeup artists, as well as 10 giant skeleton heads and 250,000 paper flowers.
Love it.
What a cool scene that was, too.
Like I said, my favorite scene so far in the whole series. The music, the continuous shot.
Oh, yeah. It's like they actually do a really good job of seaming. There's about 6 cuts, but you don't see it. It's one long shot. It's really beautiful. So Sam did that again in 1917 so beautifully. The whole entire film was one shot.
Yeah, Sir Sam.
All right, I've got 3 more. Since this movie does not use an original Ian Fleming story title, there are still only 4 unused Ian Fleming stories left. One of them's called The Property of a Lady. Doesn't seem like we could do that these days. The Hildebrand Rarity. And next one, Risico, which is problematic.
I understand why all these are not being used.
And the last one is 007 in New York.
No, that's not.
It sounds like a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's like Paddington Bear moves to New York. Yeah.
I understand. Those are going to probably stay. They're going to remain not used.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a new Bond film called Property of a Lady.
Or James Bond in New York.
No. Maybe James Bond in Paraguay. That's maybe
Not New York.
Not New York. James Bond's new car in this movie is an Aston Martin DB10.
Ooh.
The CEO of Aston Martin's tweeted that it is strictly created for James Bond only and is strictly limited to 10 cars only. It is the most exclusive car of the DB series ever. New styling direction has also been taken with a more angular look that has ever been witnessed on an Aston Martin before. So imagine and they crashed a couple of them. So how many exist? Where are they? How much money could you buy one for?
Doesn't sound like it. Exclusive.
There's some highly wealthy gentleman just eating fries in the back of one of these things. The dining establishment where M and Q and Miss Eve meet is called the Rules Restaurant. It's located on Maiden Lane in Covent Garden. It was established by Thomas Rule in 1798, and it's the oldest restaurant in London. That's cool.
That's cool. A little trivia.
Yeah, I'd love to go eat there.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Oldest restaurant in England. Nice.
Yeah, it's called Rules Restaurant. Rules, after the guy Thomas Rule. All right, last one. The opening long take actually comprises 6 separate shots, which I mentioned earlier, and digitally combined to make it look like one seamless take, which I thought was really cool. I have death count if you want it. Body count.
Yeah.
Do you want... So this was tough because I watched... I went down a rabbit hole. I watched 2 different videos that showed all the kills, and some of them were questionable.
There's a compilation of all the kills.
A highlight reel of deaths. And it's actually great. It's like if you were watching ESPN highlights of Bond, that's where you should go.
Hopefully some sweet music.
There is. There is. It's the... I was going to not spoil it, but there's another Bond song that they rejected. Oh. And that was what was playing over the death count. We'll talk about it next week.
We will.
All right. There's 2 numbers. James Bond kills and then another larger number to supplement that. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Let's say 20.
37.
Okay.
And then the guy, his name is all out of bubblegum. He states that he did some high-level Matt Damon math, and he figures out, and he shows in each scene when they're in Blofeld's lair, he counts all the henchmen, and when the thing blows up, he calculates 199 people died.
I mean, it's a big-ass explosion.
236 total.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Duke Nukem.
High kill count in Spectre for James Bond.
Yeah, by far the biggest one so far.
By the way, might be an early puzzle, but those guys, when they're walking down that room of the double-tiered monitors, and there's just loads of employees, these guys go and hang out after work. They're on a fudging desert in a extinct volcano.
They're going to go check out the meteorites.
Man, what a lame... There's no way. They've got to have a huge HR department to deal with issues, dude. Like complaints against Blofeld, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely got some company complaints.
All right, that's all the numbers I have. Anything else you want to bring up before we move and close our part 1 of Spectre?
Yes, I had one number. So I mentioned the meteorite with the great villain lair at the end. I was wondering what the most expensive meteorite's ever been purchased.
It's probably like a moon rock, maybe?
No, like a meteorite.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would just be like... I was thinking more along the lines of maybe like something that Lance Armstrong touched or something.
Oh, okay. No, but an actual meteorite that came down on Earth. How much do you think somebody spent on the largest one available?
$1.2 million.
You're really double that.
2.4?
Yeah.
Whoa.
For a 2,000 pound meteorite that fell in the Fujian province.
It's got to be in China. Fujian, China.
Fujian.
Listen, I've been to China 8-9 times. Who's buying a piece of rock for $2.4 million? What's it going to do for you?
they're going to do it like, Waltz. They're going to have it and be all sinister.
I mean, I guess Blofeld showcased a meteor in this film.
That's what I'm saying.
Huh. Maybe it's more of a, like, there's only one of these, so I'm so rich that I could just have
I actually thought that price tag was a little low. I would be expecting it to be a little more, given the rarity.
Kind of
It's a
reminds
meteorite.
me of, like, Nicolas Cage buying, like, dinosaur skulls.
Dude, if I had Nick Cage money, I'm buying a T-Rex skull.
Yeah, I'm buying
Cool
two.
is that looking?
I'm buying a baby T-Rex skull, so it can have a friend.
Around my Octopussy from last episode.
Correct. What was it? The
Fabergé.
Fabergé eggs.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to have all those.
I need some supervillain money right now. Please.
Well, Mountain Dew's going to sponsor us after this, so.
Yeah, bring Pitch Black back. That's the hashtag. Bring Pitch
hashtag.
Black back. I just took another drink. All right, man. Anything else?
No, sir.
At this point, there may be spoilers up ahead, so if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for our breakdown of Spectre from 2015. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest, the Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life for the cost of a cup of coffee. You can help the Popcorn Priest support his movie addiction and allow him to keep giving you these labor of love reviews by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than breaking out of a glass jail cell.
Much easier.
As always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my special guest, Mr. Fingernail Knives himself, JJ. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Part 2.
We got to talk about fingernail knives, dude.
It will come up.
We skipped it completely in this show. Join us next week for part 2. And thanks for blinding me with your fingernail knives from 2015. We'll see you guys next week.